I'm Alex.
And I'm Brandon. Welcome back to the table. All right, guys, so it's that time of year. It's time for our top 10 board games of 2020. So 2020's been...
a little iffy.
A little iffy. That's a pretty good assertion of the year. 2020 has been 2020.
Yes.
Now, with everything going on in the world, everybody's had a hard year, but this has been a really good year for board games, I think.
Yeah.
So, I think this year we've brought about 140 games to the table by my count, and we've got 482 plays logged on Board Game Geek. Now, I know we've played more than that because we just started logging all of our plays in May, so I was just counting them up. We have 482 plays as of yesterday. So our top 10 list is kind of a little bit mishmash of everything. We're really omni gamers. Alex likes a little bit of everything. I like a little bit of everything. We have roll and writes. We have big crunchy Euros. We have a couple of small box games, cooperatives. So what did you think of the year?
Bleh.
The year in board games, not the year.
I know.
You want to be in school with your friends. Yes. You want to be able to do all that.
Yes.
But we're not talking about the bad. We're talking about the good in the board games.
This year, I will agree with you. This year has been pretty good in board games. I have been very surprised.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that this year, not a lot of people have been able to come, go to the board game industries or whatever to make the board games. So it's more difficult, but some of the games that have came out this year are really good.
Okay.
And they're decent quality, too.
Yeah, been some really good quality games this year. Been really happy with that. So, with that being said, let's go to our number 10. Alright guys, coming in at number 10, we have a cooperative game from Indie Boards and Cards, The Coldest Night. Now, in The Coldest Night, really what it is you're trying to keep a fire going during a blizzard, and you're trying not to freeze to death. It's really that, the premise is really that simple. But the game
is hard as heck.
It is wickedly difficult. Now, we've played this game quite a few times. We have not won it yet. We have not even... I came close to winning in a solo game once. I got down to 1 or 2 cards left. This game is the kind of game that punishes you. It is a punishing game. However, when you lose, you're like, yep, I lost. Let's play again. So it's not...
It's one of those games where if you lose, you like it enough to where you want to play it again. And you want to always try to win. And in my opinion, this game, you need to try to get the cards in the right order to burn them.
Yes, it is. You have your cards, all your cards have heat value and ash value, and they have to have the right levels to go into the fire. And if you don't have enough stuff to burn, then you get punished with frostbite cards for that, and they're special items. But great cooperative game. Like we said, wickedly difficult. This is not one of those co-op games where you're just going to go through it, 9 times out of 10 and win. You're going to lose a lot in this game, but you're just going to have to kind of deal with it and try to really work hard to win it. So that's our number 10, The Coldest Night. Alright guys, coming in at number 9, we have a great party game, Hughes and Qs.
By the Op.
And what do you think of this game, Alex?
Okay, the board is mind-boggling. Let me just say that, but it's very pretty.
Yeah. So this is a very simple in concept game where you draw cards. The card has different quadrants from the game on it. So there's quadrants on the game board. And you basically try to give a 1-word clue and then a 2-word clue to hone in on what that color is without actually using the color name. And then the other people playing the game put it on that quadrant, try to do it first, and then at the end of that you put this little cage over where it is, and that's how you score points. Now, at a lower count, this game is okay. So if you're playing 3 people with this game, It's good. It's a good game. You'll have fun. This game gets really great when you get higher counts, 6, 7. I think most we played it with this year was 7. We had one time when we had our friends and their kids over, and it was 7, and it was
chaotic.
It was chaotic, but it was really fun because you have everybody going for the same spots, because as soon as somebody gives the clue, everybody wants to put their little marker out there on the board.
Yeah, but the thing is you have to go this person, 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 this person. So you keep going. So like, if let's say there's a spot that I wanted to put my meeple at, he puts it there. I'm like, dang it!
Yeah. So you are competing. You're trying to figure it out quickly, and you have this one where you'll have it once in a while when everybody kind of like this pause, where everybody pauses, then everybody goes to put their little marker out at the same time. It really is great. It's a very simple to understand, very quick to pick up for people that aren't avid board gamers or in the board game hobby. Great party game. Beautiful to look at. I could take this board and literally frame it and put it on the wall and I would love it. So that is that's our number 9, Hughes and Qs.
Coming in at number 8 on our list this year is Poetry for Neanderthals. This game I love only because it has a giant inflatable stick that I can hit people with.
And this is true. Okay, so Poetry for Neanderthals is another great party game. And yes, as she said, it comes with the inflatable nose stick that you get to hit people with when they use multi-syllable words. So
for me, like, if I have the nose stick and I'm next to him, he'll be like, why don't hit me? And I'll be like,
bonk.
There you go.
So the premise of this game is you need to talk like a Neanderthal in only single syllable words. So you get a clue that you have to use with your team. So to your team, you have to take that clue and you have to describe that clue and only use single syllable words. So let's say the word is sandwich. And you have to think of something like, I eat this food made of bread. So you talk like that in only one syllable words. If you use a multi-syllable word, the person next to you gets to hit you over the head
with the nose stick.
With the nose stick, and then you lose your turn. So very simple, very goofy, but a great party game. We played it a couple times again with groups of 6 to 8 people, and it just turned into a riot. It was everybody's laughing, everybody's giggling. It's what a good party game should be. Very simple, does not take that long to understand or get down to. The big thing is to get people to understand that they should be talking in sentences, not single words or 2 or 3 words. It's best if you try to speak in a sentence. It makes it even funnier. Now, one of the things that I found with this game, and we both found, and we did with Hughes and Qs too, is in both of them, the instructions say when it's your turn, draw a card and try to describe it. But we found that if we just dole out cards to everybody and give them time to think about it, you get a much better experience, especially in Hughes and Qs when describing a color in 1 word or 2 words can be really hard, or even speaking in a sentence. Sometimes you have to really think about not using multi-syllable words. It's much funnier when it's a one syllable word and you're talking like a Neanderthal. Mm-hmm. So that is our number 8, Poetry for Neanderthals.
Coming in at number 7 on our list for this year is Floor Plan by Deepwater Games. This game is a roll and write, and I like it. So does Dad. He probably played it way too many times.
Yeah, I play this game solo a lot. This is a really cool roll and write. It doesn't do anything new that a roll and write hasn't done before, but it's the theme. You are an architect in this, and you have goals that you have to make. And you roll dice, and those dice make different types of rooms by the numbers they are. So if you get a 5 and a 3, you can do a 5 by 3 room, and then there's a 5 value room and a 3 value room that may be one may be a kitchen and one may be a living room, and then you tag them, or you can split those dice, and a 5 is good for 5 pieces of furniture, and the 3 might be good for 3 windows. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get these objective cards, which give you points, and build a house on your little gridded paper, your blueprint paper. Really cool game, really quick. This game has some nuance to it that you don't quite get when you first start, the first couple of times you do it. But really quick game. A lot of people can play this at once. If you're rolling the dice, it says 1 to 100 people on it, which I could definitely see you doing this with 15, 20 people and nobody coming up with the same thing, because you can place elements however you want within the structure of the game. So that is our number 7, Floor Plan. Coming in at number 6 on our top 10 list for 2020 is a small box game by Uwe Rosenberg and Paper Plane Games. It's Fairy Trails. This game is probably one of the cutest games that I played this year. It's a 1 to 2 player game. And really what you're doing is it's cards that you're laying down as tiles, trying to finish trails, and that go to different houses for gnomes in the forest. It's really that simple. This is a visually difficult game, don't you think, Alex?
Yeah.
It really does. Once you start getting a big grid of cards, it can be a little visually overwhelming. But I just love this game. I love playing this game solo, 2-player. Although I always seem to get beat 2-player. No matter who I'm going against, I seem to always get beat 2-player. I'm not sure why. I do well in the solo game, but just a cute little simple card game, small box. You have these little plastic yellow and purple pips that are used for each player. What do you think of this game, Alex?
I like it, and you are wrong. It's fairies and gnomes.
It's fairies and gnomes. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's called Fairy Trails?
Yes.
Not Gnome Trails.
So I think the fairies are purple and the gnomes are yellow or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. But it's a simple little game. Pretty quick to learn, pretty quick to understand. And that's number 6, Fairy Trails.
Coming in at number 5 on our list for 2020 is Isle of Cats. Meow, 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 meow. Cats, and more cats.
All right, guys. Okay, so one of the things that we have to say to begin with on the Isle of Cats, on Board Game Geek, this is listed as a 2019 game. However, this game fulfilled and came out in March. So we are considering this a 2020 game. It's one of the earliest games I think we got on the list this year. It's a great polyomino game where you have each player has their own boat, and it's got a grid pattern on it, and you have to try to draft cats that are in these wonderful polyomino shapes, just laying in different shapes, and you try to fill in your boat as much as you can before, I think it's the 5th or 6th day, when some pirate is coming to take the cats or something. I don't know. But the great part about this game also is the cards. There are a ton of cards in this game. And the cards give you different powers. They give you different abilities. And so you've got to kind of mix all of them to fill your boat as much as possible by the end of the fifth or 6th day. So great polyomino game, really fun. You can get the late arrivals expansion that will push this from a 1 to 4 player game to a 1 to 6 player game. Takes about an hour and a half, but really great game. Great component quality. Probably one of the best component qualities we've seen all year. Thick tiles, really good quality. So that is our number 5, the Isle of Cats.
Okay, coming in at number 4 on our list for 2020 is the Quest for Planet 9. This game is very simple, and we have played how many tricks?
We've played probably 15 or 20 games of this. So the Crew is a cooperative trick-taking game. Now, there is a lot of trick-taking games out there. There are lots. I think we have 5 or 6 trick-taking games. I will tell you this. I am not one that really has cared for trick-taking games until this game came out. I love this game. You work together with your team to try to fulfill a goal that is in the manual in here. So it's like a campaign game. So I think there's 50 different goals, and you have to. It may be that player 2 has to take a certain trick at a certain time, or player 3 has to win all the tricks to do that, and you have to move along the campaign to win. So very simple game. It very quick to pick up. What did it take us, about 10 minutes to figure this out?
Yeah.
I mean, that was about.
And the thing is, it says playtime 20 minutes. We played in like 10 minutes. Excuse me.
Yeah, and then we played. I think the first night we played, 7 to 10 games back to back to back like that, and some of them can take 3 minutes to actually go through and either win or fail. So that is our number 4, The Crew.
Cool.
Coming in at number 3 is yet another cat game, and that is Calico. Okay, so Calico seems very simple, again, in its premise. However, there is a lot of strategy to be had in this game. This is a game where you have a recessed player board of patches. Basically, you're building a quilt. You're drafting tiles for color and pattern, putting buttons on them to attract cats to get points. When you say it that way, it seems very simple. And it really is that simple. But the actual strategy in the game, I think, there's actually a high degree of strategy to be had in this game if you want to play it that way.
Yeah. Can I just say one time?
What?
Meow.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with me, but I love cats.
Well, there's nothing wrong. And you know, it's a drafting game, so you're drafting the tiles out of a player area, and then you've got different goals with the cats with the black and white tiles. Pretty simple game, really easy to pick up. I think another game like less than 15 minutes to actually learn the game. It's a lot harder to execute. There is strategy here. So this is one of those games that can be played by 1 to 4 players, and I think you can get just about every level of gamer, from the very bottom gamers, people that don't play games, all the way up to people who play advanced strategy games. And again, component quality. The component quality in this is great, don't you think, Alex?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome, and the cats are adorable.
Yeah, the cats are adorable. That is our number 3, Calico.
Meow.
Coming in at the penultimate number 2 on our list of 2020, it is Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion.
This game is crunchy, but there's one rule book, I think, if I remember correctly. I have not played this in a while, so he's the one who's played it.
Yeah.
This can be a standalone game, or it can be an expansion to Jaws. To
Gloomhaven.
Gloomhaven. Thank you.
Now, the thing about Jaws of the Lion, there's a couple things. Number 1, probably one of the best rule books I have seen for a complex game. This game literally holds your hand and walks you through how to play it. For people that haven't played a lot of high strategy games, big crunchy Euros or Ameritrash games, this is the kind of game that is a good place to start. With the campaign book that you just flip the pages and it has everything right there. Yes, there's a lot of components. There's a lot of things going on in this game. But the way it's written and the way the characters are and the excitement in the game and the gameplay and the way they walk you through it and say, do this, do this, do this, you learn very quickly how to play a game that is highly complex, and it's you feel it, you get it really quickly because of the way it's taught to you, and that is something that I absolutely love about this game. Cool miniatures, great theme, great rule book, great components. There is a lot of stuff in this box. This box, I dare say, is too small for what is in there. This box is overflowing with stuff. So it is kind of a legacy game where as you go along, you're going to be covering things up with stickers if you want to. You don't have to. And you're going to also be, you're leveling your characters up. So you're going to keep a log in here on paperwork of what your characters are doing and when. But a really great game, one that we haven't got very far in yet. We're getting there. It does take a long... The one thing about this game is it does take a while to set up. Of all the games that we have here, this probably takes 2 to 3 times longer to set up than any other game. So that can be a barrier to entry, is a game that just has so much stuff in it that it's hard to set up, hard to know where it goes. But once you learn it, it's not too bad. So the gameplay itself is really well run through in this. So that is our number 2, Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion.
Coming in at the final number 1 on our list for 2020 is Ohanami. You can say Ohanami or...
Ohanami.
Me and him always argue about another game called Via Nebula.
Via Nebula.
Via.
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 We always argue about that game.
Alright, so Ohanami is a great card game. Just came out in the last month or so, I think, from Pandasaurus Games. Now, this game has been out overseas for over a year. I have been actually looking at this game for over a year, wanting to... I almost imported it once or twice. Again, this is just a deck of cards, and you might think that a deck of cards doesn't have a whole lot in there, but there is some strategy to this game. So this is a card drafting game. What happens is there are 120 cards that are numbered 1 to 120. They're in 4 different suits, or actually 4 different colors.
4 different colors: gray, blue, pink, and green. Green is basically vegetation, blue is water, gray is stone and pebbles, and pink is cherry blossoms, which are so pretty.
And so the premise of this game is, with each card numbered, what you have is you have 3 different gardens. And you're building through, you can build up to 3 different gardens. And you have to lay a card down, and then the next card you put in that garden has to be either higher or lower than the highest or lowest number. So as you're drafting cards, you want those numbers to be as close as they are, as close as they can be, going up and down to put your cards, because you don't want to have to get to a point where your lowest card is a 6 and the only card that you can draft is a 15, so you have to actually get rid of it. You have to discard it because you miss points. And then after each set of cards is drafted, you're going to take 2 cards and you're going to pass them to the person to your left or to your right, depending on which it is. Really cool game. We really love this game. It's super simple. It's super compact. You can take it anywhere with you. Like I said, it's a deck of cards. It's not even as big as this box. I mean, it's really pretty. Anybody can pick this up. I think on the box they say 8+, but I think, this is a 6-year-olds could get this. It's just numbers. Put the numbers in order, lowest to highest. That's really what it is. But there is a fair bit of strategy, and just a game that we got and absolutely love. That's our number 1, Ohanami.
So that is our top 10 for 2020.
Thank you guys for coming by and watching our top 10. Make sure to leave a note down below what you thought of our list and what your top 10 were, or your favorite game for the year. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell icon for notifications, and we will see you next time, guys. Happy 2020.
Bye.